Natural wonders that don't feel real. Somewhere on this planet right now, someone is standing completely still, staring at something in front of them and quietly refusing to believe it. Not because it's dangerous, because their brain has never had to process anything like it before. We evolved to recognize certain patterns: sky above, ground below, water that moves, rock that doesn't. So when nature breaks those rules, something strange happens. The eyes keep working. The brain just stops trusting them. Today, 10 places that do exactly that. Here's what's strange about the places on this list. None of them are edited, none of them are filtered. They just happen to break the rules our brains use to sort real from impossible. And the moment that sorting fails, something else takes over. Or, mostly. Sometimes, disbelief. So here's the question running through all 10. Why does the brain refuse something even while it's looking directly at it? Let's find out. 10. Giant's Causeway, Northern Ireland. 40,000 basalt columns, almost perfectly hexagonal, fitted together so precisely that for centuries people assumed it had to be built, not grown. It wasn't built. It's the result of lava cooling so evenly it cracked into near-identical geometric shapes, the same way mud cracks in a dry lake bed, just multiplied by 1,000,000 years and scaled into stone. Nature accidentally invented tile flooring long before we did. 9. Rainbow Mountain, Peru. For most of human history, this mountain was buried under snow and ice, completely hidden. As glaciers retreated, they revealed something underneath that looks almost hand-painted. Stripes of red, gold, and turquoise, each one a different mineral, laid down in a different geological era, compressed into bands you can see from a mile away. It was there the entire time. The ice just had to leave first. 8. Lake Hillier, Australia. A lake the color of bubblegum, sitting a few hundred meters from the deep blue ocean. And scientists still don't have one single, fully settled explanation for why. The leading theory involves algae and salt-loving microorganisms that produce a pink pigment as a survival mechanism. But even researchers who study it will admit, seeing it from above still doesn't feel like enough of an explanation. 7. Pamukkale, Turkey. The name means cotton castle, and from a distance, that's exactly what it looks like. Except it's not cotton. It's solid mineral, built by warm spring water for over 2,000 years. As the water cools and flows downhill, it leaves behind calcium carbonate, layer after layer, until entire hillsides look like they've been frozen mid-waterfall. 6. The Great Blue Hole, Belize. From ground level, it's just ocean. From above, it's a perfect, near-mathematical circle of deep navy blue, dropped into the middle of a shallow turquoise reef. It used to be a cave system above sea level during the last ice age. When the ice melted and the sea rose, the cave's roof collapsed, leaving behind a sinkhole over 300 feet deep and one of the most recognizable shapes on Earth from orbit. 5. Zhangjiajie, China. Thousands of quartzite pillars, some over 200 meters tall, rising directly out of dense forest. Carved not by hands, but by wind and water slicing through stone for millions of years. Filmmakers used this exact landscape as the blueprint for an alien world, because they assumed audiences simply wouldn't believe it was real otherwise. They weren't wrong to worry. 4. Cappadocia, Turkey wind. Carved entire cities into soft volcanic rock here. Homes, churches, tunnels, some of them still in use today. And every sunrise, 100 hot air balloons lift silently over the valley, drifting above stone formations so strange, locals once called them fairy chimneys, because nothing else seemed to explain them. 3. Halong Bay, Vietnam. Nearly 2,000 limestone islands rising straight out of emerald water, shaped by 500 million years of erosion, the ocean simply refused to stop. Local legend says dragons descended here to protect the coastline, spitting jewels into the sea, which hardened into these islands. Nobody who sees it through the morning mist finds that explanation unreasonable. 2. Antelope Canyon, USA. Sandstone walls, sculpted smooth by flash floods, violent enough to shave stone one surge at a time, over thousands of years. At midday, a single beam of sunlight cuts down through a narrow opening above, hitting suspended dust in the air until the light itself looks almost solid. Something you could reach out and touch. You can't. People still try anyway. Sala de Uyuni, Bolivia. And at number 1, the closest nature gets to breaking physics entirely. After rainfall, a thin sheet of water settles across the world's largest salt flat, and the ground becomes a perfect mirror. Clouds float beneath your feet. The horizon disappears completely. Pilots flying over it have described losing all sense of which way is up. For a few weeks a year, the sky and the ground simply stop being two different things. We started by asking why the brain refuses to accept certain places, even while looking directly at them. Maybe it's because we spend most of our lives inside patterns, expecting the ground to stay still, the sky to stay up, the rules to hold. And every place on this list is a quiet reminder that the rules were never guaranteed. They're just what usually happens. None of this was staged. None of it was edited. It was simply waiting, the entire time, for someone to stand still long enough to actually see it. Which means the real question isn't whether these places are real. It's how much of the real world you've been walking past, without stopping long enough to notice.